What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. It's finally here. It's Friday, which means tomorrow E3 begins, although it might have already started from what I'm seeing with everything that's happened this week. We even had another leak that took place yesterday on Steam. I won't say the name of it, but you can go check out my Twitter account, SpawnWave Media. There's a picture there where Steam decided to ruin another one for us. Them and Walmart in cahoots to ruin E3, I guess. We do have some fun stuff to get into today. Crackdown 3 actually was officially delayed, and they even gave us a month now, so we can look forward to that. Days Gone got a release date. We're actually getting to that. And Atari seems to have been caught faking footage, and oh man, that'll be a fun topic for us to go over. Oh man, Atari, what are you doing? It's shady over there is what I'm going to say. It's shady. I did order one, and at this point, confidence level is rising on this thing is all I'm going to say. Let's get into some of the smaller news first before we get into some of the bigger stuff. Yes, Days Gone did get a release date. It's coming February 22nd. That's next year, of course, 2019. And it looks like it's going to be competing, or at least how people are going to view it, as exclusives battling it out in February, because Crackdown 3 is also coming in February. This is per Windows Central, where they got an actual response from Microsoft about this. And yes, it is being delayed, and apparently we're going to see more information about Crackdown 3 this E3. So Sunday, 2 days from now, we're going to get some sort of information on this game, what it looks like, how it plays now. I mean, the thing about this delay, because we talked about it yesterday or the other day, people kind of freaked out. You know, it's delayed 2019. Is it holiday 2019? That would be a long delay. This delay for Crackdown 3 seems to be, from where I was placing it in November, about a 3-month delay. That's actually not terrible, right? Out of delays, that's just not that bad. So I can live with that. I'm a little surprised they're going early 2019, although maybe they just needed some extra time to polish up some things, not completely overhaul it or something. So I'm okay with this delay only because it really is a couple of months. And if you're looking forward to Shining Resonance Refrain, that's the one that's actually being published by Sega, the Japanese RPG that we've actually seen a little bit about. Still a few question marks about how it's going to completely play and obviously how good it's going to be. But the good news is, we'll actually be able to find out some more information about this next week. June 12th, it's getting a demo on the Nintendo Switch. You're going to be able to download it and play it, and this is from a press release that was sent out, and it's going to be, as far as I can tell, in North America, maybe other regions as well, although the press release that I did see mentions North America. Either way, June 12th, of course, the Switch is technically region-free, so it really doesn't matter where demos go. A lot of us even downloaded the demo for Monster Hunter a long time ago and played it because it was on the Japanese eShop, but we just, go on there and download it anyway. But yes, I love hearing this. I love these demos that are popping up now. It's great. Even Nintendo's first-party stuff is doing like their online stress tests, and it's just cool to be able to play these games well before they come out. And this is one I'm definitely checking out June 12th, and we'll probably even do a video to see how it plays. And then if you can't make it to E3 and you want to play Smash Bros, well, you technically don't have to go to E3 to play it, because Nintendo New York put on their Twitter account, they put an actual schedule as you're seeing here, and if you check that out, they're actually mentioning, that's right, Super Smash Bros will be playable along with Mario Tennis Aces, but everyone wants to probably play Smash Bros when they're there, 5 p.m. June 12th. So if you're in the New York area, you're not going to E3, but you still want to check out Super Smash Bros, you can go to Nintendo New York, and I'm sure the staff there is going to have their hands full with a ton of people seriously like rushing that store to play it. They also have other days, it appears, that you're going to be having a playtime with it as well. For example, June 13th, 9 a.m., play Super Smash Bros. June 14th, 9 a.m., June 15th, 9 a.m. So it does look like you can even begin lining up at 7 a.m. I'm going to tell you now, get there a little earlier than that, just kind of hang out and wait around until the line forms so you can get in, because it's going to be pretty insane. Now, with that stuff out of the way, let's get into some of the bigger stuff, starting with Paladins on the Nintendo Switch. We knew this was coming, right? We saw the leaks, we saw the updates, and the question was, when is it coming? And guess what? It's coming pretty soon. It's actually coming next week, June 12th. This was all announced yesterday, and they put out a full trailer on it. Next week, you'll be able to buy what they're calling the Founders Pack. This is pretty standard with them. They've done this before. It's early access, essentially, and then a free-to-play version will be out later on this summer, according to Hi-Rez. Now, the Founders Pack essentially gets you everything. All the characters and everything are just unlocked. Normally you have to earn a lot of currency to unlock them, or crystals in some case. No, you're going to be able to just get them all at once, and also unlock a few other things as well for your $30. Then, of course, you'll be able to play it right away June 12th. They actually have it already up on the eShop, and you can preload it, pre-purchase it, and whatnot. The interesting thing about this, they seem to have the performance down pat. Now, this is apparently a custom Unreal Engine 3 port, and the performance is 60 frames per second. Now, I don't know what it looks like in terms of visuals. I haven't played it yet. We're going to see when I do play it. I've actually reached out to Hi-Rez, hoping that they can at least get me set up early so we can do a full video and you guys can check it out before that goes live so you can decide if it's something you want to buy or not. The game itself is essentially a take on Overwatch, a hero shooter that's free to play. It will be, again, early access Founders Pack for $30. But for people who have been begging for Overwatch on the Nintendo Switch, this is pretty much your next best thing for that. And what the other interesting thing is, they're enabling crossplay on the Xbox and Switch. So these will be able to play against each other because they will have parity in terms of content, not completely performance and resolution, obviously, because you have the Xbox One X spitting out 4K images, but the core concept of the core gameplay will be the same. And this kind of is continuing that cross-play theme now. It's pretty cool to see that we're going to have Switch, Xbox, and they talked about other platforms. I assume they're talking about PC. I think that's the other cross-play because Sony doesn't care. They don't want to be a part of that, and that's fine. They're allowed to do that. I do think it's frustrating for consumers, obviously, because if your friend has an Xbox or you have a Switch and you want to play with your friend who has a PS4, they're basically saying get a PS4. I do think Sony's tune may change next generation if things don't continue this way for them with the PlayStation 5. Maybe it doesn't take off like the 4 did. We'll see though. We'll see. But know this, Paladins, next week, look for a video here. We're going to try to do one for Paladins to give you guys a little preview of it and see how it performs and if it's something you might enjoy. Next up, let's talk about Hitman 2. We saw that tease earlier in the week. We talked about it. Expect a Hitman announcement, and we got it. It is titled just straight up Hitman 2. Takes place directly after the episodic Hitman series that we had. And get this one will not be episodic, which makes me wonder if Square was the one who wanted to be episodic, because it seems like IO Interactive is just putting out the full game at launch. The story is going to be completely there when you buy it day one, but they are promising a lot of post-release DLC content of some kind. Who knows if it's free or paid? I don't know. But I love the idea of it not being episodic, because that was a little frustrating having to wait. The idea it's all there. Awesome. I'm going to be looking at this. It looks great. It's coming out on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and it's coming out in November. Now, the game will also have several international locations, a place like Miami, for example, and then, of course, it's going to be Agent 47. He's going to mostly be looking back and learning more about his past, which apparently is going to be more of a deeper storyline, which is good because some people thought, I guess, the storyline wasn't the best in the episodic one. It wasn't, some people even said it was non-existent, but I like the idea of it being straight up, and it is coming November 13th, so look forward to that. If you're a fan of the last Hitman game that came out, seems like it's going to be more of the same, just a little better and not something you have to wait between releases to hear more about Agent 47. Next up, let's talk about some licensed battery banks for the Nintendo Switch. It's something a lot of people have been concerned about. Will this brick my Switch? It seems to be mostly docks or anything that deals with video out along with power that seem to be bricking Nintendo Switch systems after the 5.0 update. Even before then it was happening. And a lot of people are concerned about those battery banks, although I think you're pretty safe with most battery banks as they generally apply the correct voltage and amperage, although I guess it is a toss-up. But now it looks like Nintendo is at least branding and officially licensing Anker battery banks. The only issue is they're very expensive compared to their counterparts that are basically the same things. There's like a $45 battery bank and a $90 one. Yes, that's right. There are two different versions that are coming out that you can pick up. These are going to be in late June at GameStop and Anker.com. They have two different ones. The PowerCore 2100, and that is the Nintendo Switch edition. It seems to be just a PowerCore 2100, which usually sells for about $45, $46 for $90 instead. And then the PowerCore 13400, which is significantly cheaper than the $70 one that they are selling here. These are just more expensive. We saw it with the SanDisk memory cards they were selling with the Nintendo Switch logo on them, Nintendo logo on them, officially licensed memory cards that were basically the same, although the write speeds were pretty high for them, the read-write speeds were, but they were unnecessary at their pricing. I think this is more of the same. So honestly, what I would do, check out the specifications for them and then match them up to their other one. In fact, you could probably just get the PowerCore 2100 and it's probably the same thing. I really doubt there's much difference, although I would be curious to see when people test them if there is. I'm gonna go with no. So honestly, you're probably okay. What Nintendo was probably saying here is you're okay with these battery banks that aren't officially licensed, but you know, if you really want to be safe and you really want to have a Nintendo logo on it, you can technically pay a lot of money for these, but hey, that's up to you. And our last bit of news, let's talk about the Atari VCS, because it seemed kind of weird to a lot of people how they jumped so heavily with their Indiegogo campaign, jumped massively in terms of what's been funded, and people have a lot of questions about this thing. People have been really mulling over the footage that they have shown for things like Yars' Revenge and Tempest 4000, mostly because, well, the developer has now said that they had no clue that they were developing for the Atari VCS. They went into full detail about it, and it doesn't look very good from Atari's standpoint. See, Tempest 4000 is distributed by Atari SA, but it's developed by Llama Soft, and the developers over there are just confused and they don't know what's going on. They made this very apparent on forums, and it seems that Atari Age has also found that the Yars' Revenge footage that was used appears to also be fake. Now, it's not really new, right, to see companies use fake footage. For example, we've seen it with Nintendo's recent stuff with the Switch, where they overlaid an image onto the Switch, overlaid video, but the difference there is the games they were showing are games that are actually on the Switch. Skyrim is actually on the Switch. Any of the games that they showed in their debut trailer, like Mario and Zelda, those are all on the Switch. The problem here is Tempest 4000 is not on the Atari VCS, at least at this time, because the Atari VCS is not out, and it's not good when the developer says that they had no idea that they were developing. In fact, it doesn't even appear that they have a Linux distro set up for this game. So there's a chance that Atari, even if they weren't actually showing it, would have just been emulating through Wine, which lets you play Windows stuff in Linux. I don't know what's going on with this Atari VCS, but it doesn't seem good. They did have an official response, and it wasn't a very good one, because it basically just says that they try to explain by saying they have the right to do this. Look, here's their response. Atari shared footage of the existing PC version of Tempest 4K and fully expects to have it and games like it available for the VCS launch next year. We have clearly stated on our Indiegogo campaign page that the IP shown is depicted for illustration purposes only and cannot comment on any confidential conversations with our business partners. But the problem is, the developers don't seem to really know what's happening. This is coming out next July, I guess, 2019. And it seems a bit like a mess right now, which is concerning because they're coming up on $3 million of consumers' dollars right now. So this is worrying. My confidence level, of course, is rising because this is going to be amazing either way. Either I get an Atari VCS or it blows up spectacularly, and well, that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But Tempest 4000 was a little weird to see in the first place. And it seems like if they haven't even started development or they haven't started porting processes, I'd be shocked if it's actually around for the launch of this system. But man, when you start throwing around fine print like that as justification for what you're showing, that gets a little worrying, I will say that. But I guess we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about the Atari VCS faking footage. Now I'm a little concerned about getting mine in July. Maybe I'll see it and I can try it out when I get my PS5. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Newswave today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, guys. Really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave a bunch of comments down below about everything we talked about today, whether there's the Atari VCS faking footage. I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy that one. Let me know what you think about that. It already didn't have a lot of confidence from consumers, but of course a lot of people are buying in to see how it works, or if they're even going to get one, or just Atari fans in general, or PC enthusiasts, I don't know, but people are buying in. This is not good, though, obviously, to be doing this, and people have to uncover it, and they turn to fine print. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. What about the E3 leaks that are happening? What about Days Gone versus Crackdown 3 in the same month? Or what do you think about Smash Bros. Being playable at the New York Nintendo store? Are you going there? I feel like everyone wants to play Smash Bros, and I think it's going to be pretty insane at that location. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Get ready for E3. Come by. We're going to do the EA one. We're going to do the Microsoft one. And then Monday, we'll be right back here doing more E3 coverage. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe so you get notifications for everything when we go live. And let's have some fun, guys. It's time for E3. I'll see you guys next time.